Drug development, that's what I do for a living. Isn't it exciting? So go home tonight and, with your parents' permission, go ask them to pull out a prescription drug. Doesn't matter what it is. And maybe if you're lucky, they'll have that piece of paper that's all rolled up really, really small, and open it up and look at it. Share it with your parents. Have them read it to you. Because what's on that piece of paper demonstrates the process that we had to go through in order for your mom or dad to go to that pharmacy and get the prescription drug that was written by their physician. So there's many, many steps. You could be at the bench and doing that bench science and exploring new chemicals and testing them in cells and in animals to see if they targeted the disease or the tumor or the molecule you were interested in. And once we understand that chemistry, we then do what's called first in man. So we take healthy volunteers and we test for safety and make sure that we have some dose where we monitor the side effects. Oftentimes, these volunteers are actually in an inpatient setting. So they're very controlled, there's doctors there, everything's very safe. Once we decide it's safe and we know the dose, then we build into the next phase, phase number 2. And we actually now test it in the patients with the disease. So let me talk about skin cancer because it's so prevalent in the world. And so we would go out and seek patients that have skin cancer, and we'd do some dose response. So we carefully monitor safety, and we'd increase the dose, and we'd look to see if there was any effect, what we call efficacy. Assuming we get good results from that, then we go meet with the regulatory agency at the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. They look at our data. They make sure that we're designing the next phase, phase 3, appropriately to protect patients. And then we go into this large, which is where I've had so much fun doing global, many, many countries, and we seek many, many patients, and we test for efficacy to see whether it works, always monitoring safety. And we have a component of what we call ethics, where these participants are protected by clear regulations. So we want to make sure that they understand what they're volunteering for, what their responsibilities are, that they can drop out and withdraw at any time. At the end of that pivotal trial, we look at all the data, and if we show that it is significantly better than what we were testing it against, whether it be a placebo, which is less common today, that proverbial sugar pill, more often it's the standard of care. So whether we can see that it's proved superior to the standard of care, you put together a lot of stuff. So for those young girls who like to write and therefore are taking themselves out of science, being a scientific medical writer is a huge position. Lots and lots of opportunities. We hired medical writers to help us put together our submission, if you will, to the FDA. The FDA looks at it. If things are good, they give you the go, and you get to now start marketing your product, which, by the way, is another career opportunity. You can be in sales, pharmaceutical sales, travel all over, learn about a product, learn how it works. So go back to your mom and dad, take a look at that insert, and just for fun, make sure your mom and dad understand what the side effects could be and why they're taking it and what the risks are. And tell them that that all came out of science and technology and clinical research.